Dear students, today we are going to discuss about the statistics topic, chapter number 24, graphical representation of statistical data. Before going to actual topic, we will discuss some of the concepts already we discussed in the 9th standard. Okay, so we will revise those concepts first. So first concept is about data. First concept is data. So what is meant by data? A set of given facts in numerical form is called data. A set of facts in numerical form. It's called data. For example, in a class there are 40 students and they wrote the test in mathematics. So we will get some 40 marks, isn't it? Because they are getting different marks, 40 marks. So that will be given. That data, that facts is nothing but which is in the numerical form is nothing but data. So that is the definition of data. Next, we will go to the next concept, frequency. So what is meant by frequency? The number of times the observation occurs is called the frequency. Number of times the particular observation occurs is called frequency. For example, same example what I discussed before. 40 students are there in a class. They are getting different marks in a particular subject, for example in mathematics. So how many times the particular number, for example 10 marks. So how many students they got 10 marks out of 40? So that we will count. So that is nothing but a frequency. The number of times the particular observation occurs is called as a frequency. Next, frequency distribution. So what is meant by frequency distribution? It is nothing but a tabular arrangement of data of a specific frequency is called a frequency distribution. So another way we can say it is a tabular arrangement of data showing frequency of each observation is called frequency the frequency distribution. Tabular arrangement of data showing frequency of each observation. Is called frequency distribution. We will go to the next concept, Gauss interval. If observations are limited, suppose 40 observations are there, okay, we will write one by one serially. But more than hundreds or thousands of observations are there. We cannot mention all the observations serial wise, isn't it? So therefore, so what we are doing, we are condensing the data into smaller groups. We are condensing the data into smaller groups. So those groups are called as a Gauss interval. condensing the data into groups. Condensing the data into groups is called as a class interval. So this is the one more concept. Next we will go to class mark. We will go to the next concept, class mark. So before that we will go, first we will discuss class limits. Class limits. So there are two class limits for the class interval. Left side of class interval is called lower limit. Right side of class interval is called upper limit. So see the example here, 0 to 10. So this is a class interval. It is having two figures. So left side of this class interval, this 0 is called lower limit, and right side of the class interval, this is called as upper limit. Understood now? So these are the two figures, important figures in the class interval. One is lower limit, another is upper limit. So until now we discussed about some concepts. One is data. Data means what? Set of facts in a numerical form. So what is frequency? Number of times the particular observation occurs is called as frequency. How many times it will be occurring? So the times, number of times is called as frequency. So what is frequency distribution? It is nothing but tabular arrangement of data showing frequency of each observation. So what is class interval? Condensing the data into groups is called class interval. So what is meant by class limits? There are two figures in the class interval. Left side of the class interval is called lower limit. Right side of the class interval is called upper limit. So understood now? So these are some concepts. Again, we will discuss some more concepts now. So data will be in two forms. One is class interval will be in two forms. One is inclusive form, another one is exclusive form. So what is meant by inclusive form? In this type of form, both data related to lower limit and upper limit are included, So both data related to lower limit and also upper limit. For example, so one class interval is there means we have to include both lower limit, that is 11, and also we have to include 20 in this data, in this group. Understood? So that is called as inclusive form. No need to exclude anything here. So what about the exclusive form? What is meant by exclusive form? Here, data related to upper limits are excluded. So data related to upper limits are excluded. For example, 11 to 20. So 11 to 20 means 11 is included, but the upper limit 20 is not included. You see, it is included in the next part. So for example, 10 to 20, 20 to 30. See, here the upper limit it is excluded. We are not including in this group, but we are including in the next group, that is next class interval. Again here this 30 is excluded and it is included in the next class interval and so on. So this type of class intervals, writing the this type of class intervals is called as a exclusive form. So understood now? Inclusive form means both data related to lower limit and upper limit are included. Example 11 to 20 means both lower limit 11 and also upper limit 20 also included. In exclusive form, data related to upper limits are excluded and it will be included in the next class interval. So remember these two forms. So always after this we will discuss some more concepts. Class size. Class size. So what is meant by class size? So difference between upper limit and lower limit. Upper limit and lower limit. For example, in this class interval, what is the class size of this class interval? So what you should do, we have to take the difference between upper limit and lower limit, that is 30 minus 20. So what is the class size of this class interval? It is nothing but 10. Understood now? So what is meant by class size? It is the difference between upper limit and lower limit is called as what? Class size. Okay. Next we will discuss about class mark. Class mark. Class mark is nothing but it is the mean of the class interval. That is, we have to add the lower limit and upper limit, and we have to divide the sum by 2. That will give you class mark. So that is nothing but we can represent this in equation form. Class mark is equal to 1 by 2 into lower limit plus upper limit. This is nothing but a class mark. Or we can say in a general form, it is a midpoint of class interval. So midpoint of class interval or mean of a class interval is nothing but a class mark. So what is meant by class mark? Class mark is sum of the lower limit plus upper limits divided by 2, or it is nothing but midpoint of the class interval, or it is nothing but mean of the class interval. It's called class mark. So we will discuss some more terms after this. So you understood now what is meant by inclusive form? Both data related to lower limit and upper limits are included. Both will include, both lower limit and also upper limit. So what is meant by exclusive form? Data related to upper limits are excluded. That means only we will exclude and will not include this in this class interval. We will remove this 20 and we will include this 20 in the next class interval. Similarly, it goes on. What is meant by class size? Difference between upper limit and lower limit is called class size. So what is meant by class mark? Class mark is nothing but sum of the lower limit plus upper limit divided by 2, that value, or we can say it is nothing but a midpoint of this class interval, or we can say it is a mean of these two class interval. It is called as class mark. So as I already told about the class size, isn't it? Class size means difference between upper limit and lower limit. So one more definition is also there about class size. Difference between two successive class marks. That means sometimes what they will do, they will give only class marks. They will not give class interval. In that case, how to find out class interval? We have to use this method. That means difference between two successive class marks is nothing but what? Class size. Here one thing we have to note here. Suppose they are given the class interval in inclusive form, then compulsory we have to convert that into exclusive form. So how to convert inclusive form to exclusive form? So what we have to do is subtract adjustment factor from lower limit and add adjustment factor to upper limit. So we have to add, so subtract adjustment factor from lower limit and add adjustment factor to upper limit. So what is adjustment factor? Next point. So adjustment factor, how we can get? So adjustment factor is equal to 1/2 of lower limit of one class minus upper limit of previous class. So that is called adjustment factor. So I will show you how we can get that. So for example, 11 to 20, 21 to 30. So these are the two class intervals. So they are in inclusive form because here it is inclusive form. We have to convert into exclusive form. So what is the adjustment factor? How do we have to take a lower limit of one class minus upper limit of another class? That is 21 minus 20 divided by 2. That is nothing but 0.5. So this 0.5 we have to add for the subtract from the lower limit and we have to add for the upper limit. Then only we will get the adjustment factor. Now question arises, why we should represent the data graphically? They are asking. Why we should represent the data graphically? In the previous class, we are representing data in the tabular form. Correct. Why we should represent data graphically? If we represent data graphically, it will be more noticeable. So everybody will see it. And also intelligible. That means easy to understand. Easy to understand. And we can compare the data easily. So what are the three benefits? Easy, noticeable, intelligible. Intelligible means it is easy to understand and also data can be compared easily. Therefore, we have to represent the data graphically. So in this chapter, we are going to represent the data in the three forms. One is histogram, second one is frequency polygon, third one is cumulative frequency curve. So now we will discuss one by one. So first we will going to discuss about the histogram.